Not great. Yeah. All right. So anyway, so this round we're gonna have Lejay versus Caleb D, Caleb Durward. Doomsday against Tinfins. One of the introductions that I had, I know you missed this, Dave, was that this is gonna be kind of like a fast matchup. One deck is going to kill the other, but it's gonna take a little while because both decks just have so many actions.
Oh wait, you mean this won't be a like 13 turn Stoneforge mirror? Because that's the Magic I'm used to playing.
Oh yeah, I know. It's unfortunate, but I know. I miss when you used to play Chain Lightning. That was the days.
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't really know what to expect out of this
Do you know who's
matchup. I
on the
mean,
play? That's the
I don't
important
know.
one.
Yeah, that is very on the
Oh,
play. Okay, Jay's on the
okay.
play.
So Lejay's on the play. This is actually kind of interesting. So since Caleb's on the draw, there's a possibility that he might keep this hand, untap, discard Gristlebrand, and then next turn Shallow Grave and attempt to kill Lejay.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
yeah,
I think that's the play. I mean, if you have a chance to kill them on turn 2, you should go for it in this matchup, right?
yeah, I definitely think there's no reason not to. And if he draws Entomb, then he can just kill him on turn one. So that's certainly an option here. And we see that Lejay kind of mulliganed to six. He kept an LED on top. So he has Flooded Strand, Burning Wish, Brainstorm, Orange Chant, Dark Ritual Island, and LED on top. And yeah, I honestly wouldn't be surprised. And it looks like that's what Caleb's doing. He's going straight to his cleanup step. He drew another land, obviously not great, but go ahead and discard Gristlebrand here. I I wouldn't be surprised this turn to see Lejay maybe utilize this Orange Chant in
Oh yeah,
Caleb's upkeep.
definitely. Caleb has no capabilities of casting any spells during his upkeep because, well, he doesn't have any lands in play. So I think Lejay is just going to Orange Chant him here, and then try to win on the next turn. He has a Dark Ritual, Burning Wish, and LED, and I think that's pretty good. I'm not, I don't know all the Doomsday piles, but that gives you enough mana to cast
Wow.
Doomsday.
And
And
what's really interesting here is
oh
Lejay
well.
didn't cast Orb Chant here, and Caleb's just casting Lotus Petals here. And I don't know. I'm not sure, but I mean, I'm certainly we'll see what will happen. Lejay definitely knows his deck a lot better than we do.
Yeah, well, Lejay doesn't have a second white to kick the Orange Chant, which would prevent Grizzlebrand from attacking. And if he did, then, well, then he would definitely survive this turn.
Yeah, and it
So
looks
he's going to
like
brainstorm. He probably needs to find. Well, I don't know. I guess even now casting the Orange Chant is okay. Like it stops your opponent from getting Emrakul also and killing you. So maybe that's his thought process.
maybe that's okay. It certainly doesn't seem great here. We see him draw Gataxian Probe, Silence, Cabal Therapy. Not certainly not the best brainstorm, but I don't think Lejay's going to be very happy with that therapy and the silence, and I wouldn't be surprised to see those get kicked out of here and a fetch for. Oh, it looks like he got rid of Orange Chant instead of Silence here, but they're basically the same card.
Yeah, they're basically the same. I think his plan is to silence here and then try to win on the next turn.
Yeah, I don't think Caleb has any Force of Wills in his deck, right?
No.
Yeah.
He plays Cabal Therapies and like one thought, maybe two thought seizes.
Yeah, I'm not.
So
I'm not surprised here. So yeah, we're going to see the silence here. Gristlebrand is going to draw 7 cards. It's going to bring Caleb down to 6. This attack is going to bring him back up to 13 here. But I think we're going to have to. Lejay's going to have to hope for. I think another mana source. I think he needs another big mana source here. But yeah, he's going to go ahead and draw 7 here. Gristlebrand's going to go ahead and ship. And I don't know if Caleb drew another creature, and that's pretty interesting here. The fact that Caleb didn't draw another creature means he's not going to be able to discard into reanimate or a second shallow grave.
yeah, it's certainly interesting what's going to go on. I'm thinking whether Lejay should have kept a second silence effect because he can silence Caleb again on his next upkeep to have another time walk. Now I don't know if that's actually useful, but it's something he could do. Okay, so Caleb drew another 7 cards and he still didn't draw a creature? I guess
Yeah,
he only has...
it still looked like he drew nothing here, and he's going to just go ahead and discard here. We see island top. We're going to see a bunch of lands, I'm sure, hit the bin here.
Yeah, no, okay, so there is an Entomb. So he has Entomb Shallowgrave for the following turn.
Well, he has,
Okay.
yeah, so that's fine. He has Chrome Mox too, so and another Lotus Petal, so certainly be able to jam all of that stuff out. The question is he going to live here?
And none of us know except Lejay.
Yes, maybe Lejay doesn't even know. We'll see. Yeah, Lejay has two to hit. He still needs to hit a red source because he can't actually cast that Burning Wish. The only thing Lejay can cast in his hand is the Probe, Lineside Dive, and Dark Ritual.
Yeah, I think if he hits I think he only has one draw because you need the Probe after Doomsday in order to win, I think.
We'll see. I guess we'll see what he draws here. But yeah, he certainly needs a red source, 100%. No matter what.
Okay, so if he draws Doomsday, he can Dark Ritual Doomsday and then Gitaxian Probe and hold priority and sack the Lion's Eye Diamond.
Okay, that's
and
fair.
he might be able to construct a winning line from there. I'm not entirely sure. It's a little harder. I think if he does it with Burning Wish, I think he's 1 mana short of doing the same thing. No, he might be okay. Like I said, not entirely sure. So if he draws a red source, I think what he can do is he can go Dark Ritual, Burning Wish, get Doomsday, LED Doomsday, Gitaxian Probe, sack the LED for blue, Ideas Unbound, draw 2 LEDs plus a top, play the top, sack both LEDs, draw tendrils, and tendrils. So I think it does work if he draws a red source.
Right.
Or Doomsday. Burning Wish for tendrils. Okay, sure. Mike is telling me. Yeah.
I think he could Burning Wish for Doomsday. Well, he has to Burning Wish for Doomsday, right?
Right. I'm just saying the last card has to be
Burning
Wish and
Wish
not
for tendrils.
Not tendrils.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, we're interested to see here. So Caleb only has 2 cards left, deciding really what he wants to discard here. I think discarding Probe is fine. I think he can afford to discard one of these Entombs.
Yeah, I don't think it matters too much. I think either he wins or he loses. Okay, Dark Ritual. Well, that's not a red source.
Dark Ritual's not great here, unfortunately.
I think he really needs this.
I think he has to Probe here. Well, the good news is that Caleb is a low enough life total that if he does draw a red source, Dark Ritual, LED, Burning Wish, it will be good enough.
Yeah, there's another LED. So that is a red source, but it is not one that lets you cast Burning Wish.
Certainly not here. And unfortunately, that Probe here is did not showed him a hand of where he's dead. And I don't think Lejay has any outs here.
Yeah, Entomb for Emrakul plus Shallowgrave should finish it off.
Yeah, and I think Caleb does have an Emrakul in the main deck, so that will be more than enough for Lejay to go ahead and concede here. And it's too bad he didn't draw a red source or a Lotus Petal. There might have been really good.
That would have been excited. Well, you know what? He has 3 colors in play right now, so you could chalk that one up to deck construction a little bit. He has 3 colors and he doesn't have the color he needs.
Yeah, obviously should have fetched for Plateau. And then his island obviously should have been an Underground Sea.
Yep.
Then he would have had everything. And we see here that Caleb's just going to go ahead and go for Entomb. And what I really like here is Caleb actually played out all of his mana sources. So even if Lejay did have a silence here in response to an Entomb, he could respond with a second Entomb and then Shallowgrave or Gorria's Vengeance.
Oh, yeah. There's the Tentacle Monster.
Good old modern combo of Gorria's Vengeance, Emrakul.
Yep. Modern legal for some reason.
Probably because no one plays it. Yeah, we're going to see Lejay go down to -5. I don't think that's going to be good enough.
No Phyrexian on life on the table? Okay, on to game 2.
Well,
so, G-Parch in the chat mentions, wish Lejay were playing the Grixis Doomsday Hate the Right edition. I've been pretty unimpressed by this white version with Silence and Orm's Chant. It just hasn't seemed to be very good. The silences seem like they're just taking the place of more action spells.
Interestingly enough, here it looks like Caleb is going on the Storm plan for Game 2. He just has one Gristlebrand in his deck now, and 3 Dark Confidants, a Tendrils, and a Thoughtseize, and it looks like that's what he's boarding in here. It's kind of interesting. I really hope that we get to see Caleb flip a Gristlebrand off of Dark Confidant, not because of any ill will towards Caleb, but because I think it would be really, really funny.
Yeah, I think it would be funny too. So it looks like Caleb is boarding out his Grizzlebrand, but Lejay, sensing it, is boarding in his Grizzlebrand. Sorry, his Emrakul.
Yeah.
So Lejay's going to have the Emrakul advantage. Meanwhile, he doesn't have any Tendrils in the main deck anymore, so Caleb's going to have the Tendrils advantage in this matchup.
Ooh, yes, that'll be pretty interesting here, and this is kind of like a weird thing, because even though Caleb's trying to like board like this almost pseudo Storm plan, only having one Gristlebrand may be a touch close, especially if he misses on the first first draw 7 or the second draw 7.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just has the Entombs to find the Grizzlebrand. Yeah, I'm not sure how much I like this board plan from Caleb. Also, he's bringing in the Children of Corliss, which, interestingly enough, can stop you from dying to Tendrils. Because you lose a bunch of life and then you gain it all back before the last Tendrils kills you. Oh, nope, he's bringing it out. Oh, never mind.
We'll never know.
Okay, so Lejay's going to lead off this game. His hand looks pretty good. It just needs a Dark Ritual, I think, with the Doomsday, Brainstorm, some cantrips, and LED.
No, it looks like he's pretty close here, and Caleb's hand is very good. He does have Entomb for Reanimate on Gristlebrand, which is certainly going to be very good, just having a Gristlebrand in play. And then hopefully Caleb would, obviously he's hoping his first draw 7 draws him to some sort of discard, so he could try and attack what Lejay is doing.
Well, with 4 Lotus Petals in the deck and like some number of Chrome Walks, it's not totally wild. Although Reanimate costs so much life that he doesn't get to draw 7 twice. He only gets to draw it once.
Right. Did we see if he kept in the Children?
He did not.
Okay, so yeah,
that
is unfortunate. So we see here a Probe is going to go ahead and draw Polluted Delta. Not really the best draw, but as we kind of talked about already, this Entomb into Reanimate for Gristlebrand is going to be pretty solid here. That's certainly going to be the case. I like casting Dark Ritual here from Caleb. That's going to allow his first draw 7. If he draws a Cabal Therapy or a Thoughtseize, then that's going to allow him to just cast it for free without having to find a Lotus Petal or a Chrome Mox.
Yeah, somehow I missed that Dark Ritual, and now he has 4 more Dark Rituals he can draw to as mana sources to keep this going.
Ooh, yeah, that is pretty nice here, and I think we're just going to see a draw 7 immediately.
Oh yeah,
and we see a Cabal Therapy. That's pretty nice. Petal.
He can even sacrifice the Grizzlebrand to flashback Cabal Therapy if he needs to. Is that a Shallow Grave also?
It is Glorious Vengeance.
Well, yeah, there's also a Shallow Grave. I don't know how much that does. And this just seems to be a really awkward position because he's got Dark Confidant at 2 life, and he has no way of giving any big creature haste right now. Well, actually, no, that's not true. He can sacrifice. Yeah, he can sacrifice the Grizzlebrand to Cabal Therapy, then Shallow Grave it.
Right,
and hit him
just to get in for 7, and then we draw another 7 and hope we can Tendrils them.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Caleb's got this game. Should be easy, right? He just needs to find Tendrils with.
So Caleb has played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spells already. So if he does this with Gristlebrand and draws into Tendrils and a Ritual, he would actually win. But it looks like he's just going to cast Dark Confidant.
Or Dark Confidant, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to sacrifice Dark Confidant's Cabal Therapy to get all 3 Gitaxian probes potentially out of Lejay's hand. I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like he's going to go for the 3-for-1, and I do like that 3-for-1 there. Lejay does need, an assortment of spells to win, and not having any Gitaxian probe is pretty bad here. And Brainstorm, Doomsday, Lion's Eye Dive, and certainly does not feel great.
You know what? I think Lejay might have this next turn. Well,
yeah.
Okay, never mind.
I think it might be wrong, but I don't know. He just has
there has to have been a way that Lejay could have brainstormed, or I just feel like there was probably a way that he could have brainstormed that would have actually let him win on that turn or the next turn.
Yeah, and so we see there that Caleb kind of has the faster combo deck, and he was able to get out, right underneath Lejay. And even though Lejay had a couple opportunities to, draw a specific card or specific set of cards to kind of go off, didn't end up drawing them. It's pretty unfortunate. And even though Caleb kind of bricked on his draw 14 cards, it ended up being, Crystal Rain ended up being more than enough to kind of take care of Lejay there. And we see Caleb win 2-0. Finn's taking over Doomsday.
In the last 2 weeks, beating me and now beating Lejay, I think Caleb's played about, 6-7 turns of Magic over the past 2 weeks?
Well, why would you want to play more? I don't understand.
So you could gain 4 life with Batterskull, several times.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. I was thinking about, winning. My apologies.
God, Rudy, why are you thinking about winning? Anyway, so we'll be back with round 3 of this week's Legacy Mediocre League action. That's Caleb versus Tim. I think something happened with Joe. I don't know if Mike probably announced it.
He's at the professional tour.
He's at the pro tour. God, why is he in this league? Oh my God.
He wasn't qualified when the league started, and then he earned 2 qualifications while the league was going.
Yeah.
So
you should have just kicked him out. I think it's pretty clear what should have happened.
Yeah. So we'll see Caleb and Tim next. See you guys.
Yeah.